Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan joined alongside cameraman Wally Mitchell, taking you through the second of three on the South Rink on this Monday, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Matchup between Sachem and St. Anthony JV Black. A game very important for Sachem as they sit 1 point back of Connect-Watsaville, who play later tonight. In the game that immediately follows this one, they'll be up against East Islip. They sit back of those Connect-Watsaville Thunderbirds by a point for the last playoff spot. CSY 5-9 on the year, 10 points. Sachem 4-8-1 with 9 points. So an overtime loss or a tie would benefit them in this game. Obviously, you want the win. And it would be a preview of the first round if Sachem were to get that final playoff spot. It's against first place St. Anne's JV Black, 13-1 on the year. Everything's been going right this season for the Friars Black JV team. Their only loss of the year coming against East Islip, 7-1 on November the 12th. Other than that, it was a 7-game winning streak to start the year and a 5-game winning streak is what they're currently on, and an 8-game winning streak to start the season. Friars fresh off a 9-1 victory against the aforementioned Connect-Watsaville Thunderbirds on January the 7th. They're 1-0 in the new year, looking to go 2-0 against Sachem tonight. Sachem, it's been a number of close losses that have defined this JV season. Again, a season ago, the Sachem JV team, one of the top teams in the league. Same could be said for 2 years ago as well. But 1 and 2 goal losses have been the ongoing theme for the charcoal and gold. And their last one out, this will be their third game of the new year. 3-2 loss to Longwood, 3-1 loss to Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red. They are second in the standings against the fellow St. Anthony Friar team, St. Anthony JV Gold. Sachem lost 4-2. Last win came back on December the 3rd, 6-4 win against KPC. 1 goal loss to East Islip, 2 goal loss to West Islip, and a 1 goal loss earlier this year as well to Longwood. It has been the defining characteristic. Can they buck the trend tonight? Their last game out against St. Anthony JV Black was back on October the 13th, and the Friars won that one in shutout fashion. 6-0 early giveaway and a goal. Just like that, the Friars lead at 1-0 seconds into the contest. And this is just a no-can-do turnover. Friars wasting no time getting on the board. And looked like that was one of the captains, Nick Lawler, one of the leading scorers as well for St. Anne's, wasting little time getting the Friars ahead by 1. Here's Kane. Kane fans on the pass across in the feet of Vertigliano. Vertigliano fighting back to the puck. Stripped of the puck by Giacopi. Giacopi rushes up ice. Ushered away by Portanova and covered on the far post by Walsh, the starting netminder for Sachem, up against Brandon Huber. For the Friars, Lawler, all-star representative from this Friar team on the year now, has 13 goals. That is the most on the Friars. Savalos leads the way in terms of assists with 15. Lawler in points now with 24. That point shot never got through. Like taking it was Ty Shimkus. Wellman skates out for Sachem. 3-on-2 over the red line, but a good play made by Camastro as the puck in his skates broke up the rush. Sachem sent right back in. Welter controls in behind. Wellman trying to force it to the front of the net. Another pass to the front of the net. Gets by the stick of Feely. Giacomo tracks back to it. Flips one on, and a glove save made by Huber. Shimkus backhands around. Wellman is waiting for it in the far corner. In behind to Feely. Sachem looking for a quick response. DiGiacomo. That shot got on goal, and a save made by Huber. And skated out from behind the net by McCormick. Gavin McCormick races on in. In the circle, a pass got all the way through to Feely. Feely to Wellman. Sachem trying to turn defense into offense. Giacopi on the back check. Takes the puck away from Wellman. Welter. And getting the stick in was Cole Calberer. Ilg races after it. And lost an edge. Chance for Ilg. Spun it wide. Net dislodged. And with the threat of a goal ending, whistle comes. Big chance there for Sachem. Some of their players to keep an eye on getting scoring chances already. That was Ilg. Zach Hesse leads the way in terms of points with 18. Justin Hunter and Ryan Retigliano second and third most on the team in terms of point scoring. Retigliano with the puck now. Goes down low to Ilg. Kane playing as a forward this game, or at least on this shift. Away come the Friars, but leaving the puck behind him was Liam Healy. Cole Calberer flips one near side. Declan Kane gets on over. Back with the Friars. Chance down low and a shot wide off the stick of Lawler. DiPietro moves it from in behind to Retigliano. Retigliano avoiding the stick check of Lawler. But his pass to Ilg. Ilg had gone to the bench for a change. Healy racing up the left wing side, or pardon me, that 96 Robert Leno. In behind the Sachem net, Portanova battling with Giacopi. Comes back up top to Aspromonte. Aspromonte off balance, takes the shot, and a pad save made by Walsh. Rebound Lawler tries to squeeze it through Walsh, and Walsh, another save, will cover up. Walsh certainly been a bright spot for this Sachem JV team this season, boasting a 3.2 goals against average in what now will be his 12th start of the season. Allowed the early goal, but seems to have recovered from it. Off the face-off win for the Friars. They send around the boards. Welter near boards. Engaged in a battle now. McCormick battling Wellman. Comes free to Giacopi. Portanova hustles to the loose puck. Gets it ahead to Feely, and Feely banks to center. DiGiacomo racing after it, putting pressure on Shimkus. Shimkus outmaneuvering DiGiacomo, former Middle Country Cougar, gets it ahead for Welter. Welter avoiding the stick of Feely. All five members of Sachem back on defense. Clogging the neutral zone, but now they go for a change. Off sides of the Friars, so plenty of time for the Charcoal Gold to reset. Look to break up ice. It's Feely going down to a knee and stabbing it ahead. Right onto the stick of Shimkus. Shimkus right back into neutral ice. Cole Calberer. Off the stick of Ilg. On the wrong side of the red line will be an icing on Sachem. With 10:27 gone in this first period. 1-0 Friars, and a goal scored by Lawler 18 seconds into the game. Face off to the right of Walsh. Won by Sachem. DiPietro. Sends one ahead, picked up by Retigliano. Retigliano races on in, long wrist shot. Save made. Huber, rebound, has a hard time with it, still loose. Retigliano coughed it up to Giacoppi, and Giacoppi flings it down ice. They say it deflects, so no icing. DiPietro greeted by Aspromonte on the loose puck. And Retigliano emerges with it. Ryan Retigliano, where in the sea for Sachem to Kane. Kane immediately goes cross ice to Ilg. Ilg chips it around to the near side. Aspromonte challenged by Kane. To the point. Portanova unable to hold in. Tries to fire it right back in. Ilg trying to make a change. Wisely not coming out on the ice yet was Feely to avoid the too many players out on the ice for Sachem. Retigliano back in. Krush, long shot glove save made by Huber, who had just reset and looks to be in a bit of discomfort with his mask. Shaking his head. Huber appears to be okay and ready to make the next save off this offensive zone draw for Sachem. Wellman trying to win it. Comes back to Krush. Krush just able to hold in the zone, but coughed it up to Healy, who banks it all the way down. Wellman back on it for Sachem. Near side to DiGiacomo. No Hesse in this game for Sachem. As I mentioned, their leading scorer. Feely. And Wellman, as Feely tried to go into the zone, poked off his stick by Giacoppi. DiPietro fires off the near glass. And in behind, Huber. Huber, one of the 4 goalies named to the JV All-Star game this season. Giacoppi carries into the zone, watched by DiPietro. Giacoppi trying to feed McCormick. Got on back to Leno, and a shot. Glove save made by Michael Walsh. Faceoff coming to the left of the Sachem netminder. Again, atop the standings are St. Anthony JV Black, 13-1 record, 3 points clear of second place Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red. However, they have an extra game played than Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red. That'll be 2 games after tonight. Smithtown Hauppauge JV Red with an overtime loss in addition to their regulation loss. Right now, the separator between first and second place. Covering up is Walsh. In that 6-0 defeat earlier in the season, getting the shutout was Brandon Huber, who is making the start again tonight for the Friars. Ensuing face-off. Here is Kane. And ahead for Ilg. Ilg into the zone. Friars breaking out. Friars offsides, and there is the touch-up for the offsides. Excuse me for the clock. Having a bit of mouse trouble all throughout this evening. Puck in the near boards. Ushered down ice, and Palladino with the miss. Sachem exit the zone. Banks all the way down for Healy to play it. being watched by DiGiacomo. Feely along the far boards, now back with Liam Healy. Lawler trying to get it to the front of the net to Leno. Wellman clears it for Sachem. Giacoppi banks it right back in. Cole Calber cross ice open for Feely. And back on it is Leno. Leno into the zone. Leno near circle. Wrist shot. Glove save made by Walsh, and Walsh will hold on to it. With 6:03 remaining in this first period, 1-0. The Friars leading Sachem here on LI Sports Network. Friars win the draw. Shimkus to McCormick. McCormick doesn't like what he sees, spins away. And throws it down low to Welter. Checked by Krusch. Retigliano emerges with the loose puck. And backhands one ahead out of the reach of Kane. Loose puck though for Ilg. Ilg trying to get it to Kane, and a good recovery made defensively. That time by Aiden Pape. Backhanded out of the zone by Portanova. And all the way down ice, no icing. Shimkus to pick it up with 5:25 to go in this first period. Again, on the air, Sachem averaging just 3.6 goals per game. They're also just allowing 3.6 goals per game. Providing some context to their propensity for low scoring games as well as tight games throughout the season. Friars averaging 5.6 a game and only allowing 1.6. That is the best in the JV division. DiPietro, wrist shot over the net, hits the glass. Feely to the loose puck. Sends around to DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo's shot blocked by Shimkus, and Shimkus will skate it out. Ty Shimkus put it all the way down, and will be an icing against the Friars with 4:33 remaining in this first period. The full 6 games going to be taking place, and if you're looking for the Friars senior night game, that is going to get going underway on the North Rink. It is senior night for the St. Anthony Friars seniors. Varsity on the North Rink, and a shot denied there by Huber off the face-off chance for Sachem. So those festivities will be getting underway shortly. Travis Quigley on the call. Over on the north side, Calber, wrist shot blocked, and shaken up by it is Giacoppi, or pardon me, that's Lawler. DiPietro takes it in behind. Outlets to Feely. Feely, good move to maintain possession. Over to the line onside, wrist shot blocked. Such a well-coached defensive unit out there each and every night for the Friars, both gold and black teams. That puck thrown down ice, out of the reach of the intended winger Palladino, and icing is called on St. Anthony's. That matchup, St. Anthony's Friars varsity team going to be taking on Middle Country. Important game for the Friars as they look to maintain a top 2 spot in the standings. Crucial shot, pad save made by Huber. Taken away by Ilg. Ilg spins it down the near boards. Good stick lift by Kane. The pass gets by Retigliano and Portanova. Obviously no icing as it originated from the stick of Declan Kane. Turnover. Good stick there from goaltender Michael Walsh. Portanova. Check on McCormick. 74 on 74, but the pass intercepted. Fired just wide. That was Giacoppi. Portsanova trying to get to the loose puck first along the far half wall. Comes back to Jackson Krush. Krush around for Kane, and Kane able to clear the zone for Sachem. McCormick takes it right back for St. Anne's. Across ice. Wrist shot by Welter, turned aside by Walsh. Rebound available, glove save made by Walsh, and he'll hang on with 2:41 left in period number 1. The lone goal of the game, scored 18 seconds in by the Friars' Nick Lawler, the only in the game to this point. DiPietro off the glass to the line, not out. Feely trying to punch it out of the zone. Great keep-ins along the far point there from number 96, Robert Leno, who is also represented at the All-Star game as a defenseman. Showing some love to the defensive defenseman in the All-Star game. McCormick battling DiPietro, able to spin it around the boards, and delayed penalty upcoming. Believe it'll go against Sachem, and they're going to get a cross check assessed to DiPietro. Jake DiPietro to the box. Friars to the power play, their first of the night. Shot blocked right off the draw. Chance to clear for Wellman, missed it. So the Friars keep in. Calver tried to backhand it up the far boards, could not. Wellman's backhander does clear the zone all the way down ice. Good crisp passing from the Friars. They're right back in to the front of the net. Little flyby from Aspromonte, and shot denied by Walsh. Cleared down ice by Krush. Over 30 seconds gone by on the Friars power play. Anthony Aspromonte. Lawler centers on the backhand shot. Save made. Walsh rebound flicked out by the stick of Michael Walsh. Lawler tries to go back to the point, and now foot race. Foot race between Leno and Wellman. And lifting the stick, Leno looking to get possession away from Wellman. Good forecheck and penalty killing, though, from Sachem and Zachary Wellman. Puck on the stick of Lawler. Lawler centering Aspromonte. Offsides are the Friars, and that'll bring their rush to a halt. 54 seconds left, first period. Listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Be sure, if you want to support us, by hitting subscribe, following us on social media at LI Sports Network. All of that helps. We're on our way to almost 12,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Alec Giacoppi around Ilg, into the zone, a wrist shot, and a save made by Walsh, who covers up. Alec Giacoppi, that most recent chance, is now second on the team in goal scoring with 12. He was tied for first with Lawler. Both Lawler's tally back in that first period. He now stands alone as the leader on the Friars JV black team in terms of goals. Aiden Pape, 23 seconds to go in the period, 12 seconds to go on the power play. McCormick standing up at the line. Nice play there from Cole Calber. And Ilg will fling it all the way down ice. DiPietro out of the box. Sachem 1-for-1 on the kill, 0-for-1 on the power play are the Friars. Palladino with 2 seconds and 1 will just let the clock tick down to this first period, and we'll go into intermission with the 1-0 lead. Will the Friars Second period on its way in just a moment. Stick with us. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here and only on LI Sports Network.
Just drips into your throat and you taste it. I hate that. I know that's what we were told to do as kids and stuff. I just kind of like. I heard ice and pinching it is the move. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Rinks and Hop Hog, Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network, where the mouse continues to be my enemy tonight. It disappears and does not come back on the screen. I'm trying to get that off the screen, folks. Believe me. Hey, score! Sachem tie the game at 1. Cole Calberer with the blast to make it even at 1-1. And I apologize, Sachem fans listening, as the mouse is my enemy tonight. But Sachem, the equalizing goal. Cole Calberer with the tally. And for Calberer, that is his 4th of the year. And it's a big one. Scored in the opening moments of period number 2. Quickly into the zone, Healy. Back out to neutralize Shimkus. And across. Lawler turned over. Ritigliano to the backhand. Ritigliano, great recovery by Nicholas Lawler. And he'll start his way up ice. The lone goal scorer of the night for the Friars. Threw it across. Backdoor play. Wouldn't go. Great opportunity for Aspromonte. And stretching out to get over with the pad was Michael Walsh. In behind. Leno. Aspromonte one-time shot blocked by Cruz. Cruz gets shoved down, shot back on goal, kicked out by the left pad of Walsh. And Sachem clear the zone, skated out by Ritigliano. Ritigliano, nice move to cut to the middle. Ritigliano drags. Ritigliano ran out of runway. Colliding into each other were Anthony Aspromonte and Robert Leno. They knocked down Ritigliano in the process. Again, we apologize for the banner still up for the in-between the periods. My mouse, it's not dead, but is not showing up on the screen. Oh. Nope. Still not showing. Chance here for Giacopi to make it. What a save made by Walsh. Reaching out with the left pad to rob Alec Giacopi. In behind. Kalber delivering a check on Welter. McCormick intercepted by Cole Kalber. Looks to flip to center. No icing as Feely was checked from the puck by Aiden Pape. Feely dishing out a hit on Leno. Leno backhanding ahead on a stick of DiPietro, who fires it right back in for Sachem, but on the wrong side of the red line, so an icing against the Charcoal and Gold. Face off. Won by the Friars, taken by Ilg. And Sachem start up the other way with numbers. 3-on-2 over the blue line. Retigliano fumbled the puck as he was entering the zone, forced everyone to slow up. Still Sachem establishing the offensive zone. Down on the ice, looking to play the puck. Aspromonte flips it to the line and not out. And Friars will settle things down. Palladino to Shimkus. Ahead for Ty Shimkus. Aspromonte for Lawler. And covered with the glove by Michael Walsh. Face off to the left of Sachem netminder Michael Walsh. One in the defensive end by Sachem. Thrown around the boards to the far side, held in by Shimkus. Shimkus to Aspromonte. Aspromonte has it poked away from him by Kalber, and DiGiacomo rushes up ahead. DiGiacomo poked from behind by Shimkus, and Palladino banks one to the line, not out. Kalber with the lone goal, fires on goal, and a save made by Huber. That goal for Cole Kalber broke out a shutout streak by Colin Huber individually and St. Anthony JV Black. Here's a chance for Feely. Now DiGiacomo turned aside by Huber, and another shot goes wide. Right back for another chance for DiGiacomo. Wouldn't go. Feely to the loose puck. Aspromonte checked as he was trying to skate it out and helped along by Lawler. Aspromonte to the bench. Lawler deeper into the zone fires a tricky shot and a left pad save made by Walsh. Sachem trying to break out. Stepping up was Camastro, and Camastro offsides of the Friars. 9 minutes, 53 seconds left in this second period. And great news, Mouse is back. So 9:53 left. Second period, a little over 5 minutes gone by. Lone goal of the period belonging to Sachem. Cole Kalber unassisted at 14:39, so 19 seconds in. The Friar goal came 18 seconds into the first period. Welter has it go off his stick, onto the stick of Cruz. Cruz banking one ahead, hoping to get it to Ilg. Ilg has it taken away. Now back with Retigliano. Ryan Retigliano dicing his way through neutral ice into the offensive zone, into the far corner. Retigliano removed of the puck by McCormick. Retigliano not content with that result, fighting back to it. Getting some help from Ilg, but Ilg, and coming away with the puck though is McCormick. McCormick to Welter, Welter to Giacopi. Giacopi got it around Portanova, but couldn't catch back up with it before it's covered in the second period. listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Held in by the Friars. Shimkus walking down the far boards. Still Shimkus. Centers. And save made point blank by Walsh on Healy. And that shot wide of the net. Off the stick of Lawler. Lawler, far point. Wrists one through to the front of the net. And DiPietro got in the way of it. Now back across. Hoping for Healy. And good play by DiGiacomo to get back. Interview now. DiGiacomo to the line. Not out. Held in by Lawler. Off of Wellman. Healy is in. Healy turned away by Walsh. What a save. Feely the other way for Sachem. 3-on-2. Pass to Wellman. Misfired. Wellman able to get it back to DiPietro. Wrist shot save. Rebound. Score! Feely in front. And Sachem take a 2-1 lead over the first place St. Anthony JV Blackfriars. Great effort in front of the net. Great job sticking with it. Really? Back with it. Sachem, a 2-1 lead now. First lead of the game for the Charcoal and Gold. Down in the near corner, Krush back on it. Krush able to bank to center as it got by the stick of Palladino. Dangerous pass from Pape, gets all the way through to McCormick. McCormick removed of the puck though by Retigliano. Ryan Retigliano picking up speed behind his own net. Able to get away from Welter, catches back up with the puck, makes a nice deke at the line, getting checked from behind and draws a penalty. Sachem will go to the power play with a 2-1 lead. They have both goals here in the second period. Feely from DiPietro and Wellman. I mentioned what a great play it was by Wellman. It was a 3-on-2 over the blue line. Was able to maintain his poise to get that puck back up to the point for DiPietro. Takes a shot on goal. Never a bad idea. And a great job by Sean Feely to get the loose puck for the goal. That made it 2-1. And now Sachem to the power play. Cleared down ice by the Friars. Says coming into the game, the Friars penalty kill 87.5%. Sachem says have a 40% power play. Take that with a grain of salt, but needless to say, Sachem power play have done quite well this year. As Feely able to bank it ahead to Wellman. Wellman stood up by Pape in emphatic fashion. And Aspromonte gets to the loose puck and sends it all the way down ice. Walsh stops up for DiPietro. Nearly 50 seconds, now 50 seconds gone by on the power play for Sachem. It's been largely spent outside the offensive zone, and they're having a little trouble organizing in their own end. Tigliano absorbs a check from Aspromonte. On away up ice. Tries to get around Pape, and Pape, great defensive play. Stands up Retigliano and fires it all the way down ice. Walsh leaving it for DiPietro. And that puck right into the stands to the left of me. Look out. Thrown back down ice by a Sachem parent. And we'll resume the Sachem power play. Once again, the mouse has betrayed me. Retigliano to Kane. Kane swept it to the front of the net, cut off by Camastro. Welter to the line, held in by Krush. And held in by Krush again. A shot got through to Ilg. Ilg, backhand shot save. Rebound off the post. Right off the near post. Ilg with the opportunity. 6 seconds to go on the Sachem power play. And they're going to call an icing. An icing on Sachem. Get the clock squared away. Now the mouse is back in action once more. There's 1 second left on the Sachem man advantage. And we're back to even. And Sachem have iced the puck yet again. .433. Remaining in this second period. Period in which Sachem have both goals in, have the 2-1 lead. Rolls on to Walsh. Walsh makes the stop. Again, 6-0 was the score the first time these two teams played one another. Game back on October the 13th. And in that game, Savalos, who's not in the lineup tonight, had a big night. 2 goals and an assist, 3 points. It's been big absence here tonight for the Friars. Sachem sent it down ice, and a save made by Hubert. Sachem, though, were without a lot of their top players. No Feely, who has that second goal in this game. No Declan Kane. No Portanova, who sends it up ice. Or DiGiacomo. And providing some of the context. Well, it was a full lineup for the Friars. Backhand shot on goal, and a right pad save made by Walsh, who has been excellent here tonight. Now an odd man rush here for Sachem. And over the line, offsides, Feely. DiGiacomo, ever so slightly, just needed to pick up his head to see Feely ahead of him. Had 2 Friars right on his tail. Would have had the cleaner break. That being said, all for naught. Offsides against Sachem. Giacopi, first on the loose puck, puts it right out in front and finishes a hit on DiPietro. DiPietro shaking off that hit from Giacopi still, but makes a good defensive play in the far board. Still not out of the zone. Palladino holds in, blocked out in front by Calber. Rebound nearly redirected right onto Welter. Welter does have it in the near side. Centers one, loose in the slot for Shimkus, turned away by the stick of Walsh. Shimkus chasing after it to Giacopi. Giacopi right back out in front, shot blocked. Now Sachem come away. Kane. And a whistle stops play. And DiPietro will go to the box. Friar power play will get another look. 20% on the season are the St. Anthony JV Black power play. They are 0 for 1 tonight. Banked all the way down on goal to Huber. Good initial clear for Sachem. Huber to Palladino. Past the stick of Lawler and fired right back in by Portanova. DiPietro off for high sticking. Lawler over the line onside. Rink wide pass eventually found its way to Healy. Healy knocked off the puck by Cruz. Cruz fires it out of the zone on the far side. Past Palladino. Shimkus picks up speed. In behind the net, into the offensive zone. Ty Shimkus on the backhand. Centers. On goal save. Rebound score. Tie game. It's a Friars power play goal. Scored by Anthony Aspromonte on a great feed from Shimkus. You see him on the backhand here. Throw it right out in front. And just overskating their spots in front of the net, the Sachem defense. But a good job to follow up the initial shot there from Aspromonte. And this game tied up at 2. Aspromonte, his 6th of the season. Friars looking for more. Welter backhands it all the way through. Kane first on the loose puck for Sachem. Looking for a home run pass. Got it all the way through to Feely. Feely catches up with it near corner. Feely centers wide. Ilg, another huge chance. His 2nd grade A of the period. Feely in behind. Feely trying to get it out in front. Giacopi skate to stick. Skates it clear for the Friars. Giacopi into the zone. Wrist shot wide. Didn't miss it by much. Off the glass and out of the zone for Sachem. Feely goes cross to Ilg. Ilg, long wrist shot. Sticked away by Huber. Feely gets to the loose puck. Again, tied at 2. 45 seconds to go, 2nd period. 2-on-1 enveloping here for the Friars. McCormick across. Stick is in the way. Provided by Walsh. And Michael Walsh continues to make the save Sachem need to keep him in the game. 36 seconds left in the 2nd period. Sachem 4-8-1. 1 point back of Connecticut-Sayville for the final playoff spot in the JV division. Connecticut-Sayville against East Islip later tonight. Face-off win by the Friars. First place, Smithtown St. Anthony JV Black Friars. 13-1. Retigliano takes the puck away. 21 seconds. Retigliano racing on in, racing on back to even up the score. Was Pape. Giveaway and a save made by Huber as he gave it right back to Retigliano. Leno looks to break out for the Friars. Coughed it up to Cole Calberer. He finds Wellman, and that'll do it for the 2nd period. Sachem come alive. Tie the game at 1, took the 2-1 lead. And then the Friars on the power play. Anthony Aspromonte tie the game up at 2. And that is how we go into period number 3. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 3rd period on its way in just a moment, right here and only on LASN.
So, I plugged in the mouse. The mouse is still like going in and out. It's really driving me crazy. But it's on 71%. It's not the battery. Mike said something about the sync, but like, yeah, 100%. 100%.
Welcome back here to the Rinks and Hop Hog, listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League LI Sports Network. 2-2 between Sachem and St. Anthony JV Black. Sachem looking to pull off one of their signature wins of the year if they can get it against the top of the standings Friars. And more importantly for Sachem, the win will put them into a playoff spot pending the result of Connecticut-Sayville and East Islip following this game. On the south end, Kane to the loose puck. Kane trying to go cross ice to Ilg, just out of the reach of Ilg. Ilg has had a number of fantastic chances in this game, has yet to get one by Huber. Matter of fact, no Sachem player had a goal against Huber in their first game against the Friars Black JV team. Shutout streak for Huber ending at about 15 minutes and 17 seconds. Chance right out in front for Healy. Turned away. Great setup from Aspromonte from in behind the net. Aspromonte goes right out in front. A save made by Walsh. And Walsh, or Sachem, clear the zone. Fluttering puck will die before the goal line. No icing against Sachem. Friars trying to roll right back in with Ty Shimkus. And Shimkus does push it into the zone. Calber nearly coughed it up to Lawler. Now he does. Lawler through the feet of Giacopi and all the way back out ice. And you could see the snow accumulation out on the ice here in this third period, posing a factor. DiPietro to Calber. Calber spinning. Sends it back down for DiPietro. Return pass to Cole Calber. Calber. Good outlet pass, springs forward Wellman. Wellman just a touch offside, breaks up the Sachem rush. With just under 2 minutes, 15 seconds gone by in this third period. Cole Calber, DiPietro, DiGiacomo, left wing side to Giacomo. Drop pass for Tigliano, one-time shot turned away by Huber. Giacopi clears the zone to the line. Calber comes back into his own end looking to reset. Cole Calber's pass hit a stick on its way to Giacomo, and now Calber will just fling it into open ice. On the loose hook, Palladino lost it to a forechecking Wellman, who backended on goal, and a save made as we're over 3 minutes gone by in this third period. Krusch on the loose puck, being watched by Wellman. Take it away. Giacopi scores! Just like that, the Friars take back the lead. It's 3-2 off the stick of Alec Giacopi. Giacopi's first of the game. Again, comes off that D-zone turnover. Got to be so careful with the puck in your own end. That's exactly why player of Giacopi's caliber can make you pay. Does so there. Alec Giacopi's 13th of the year. Now matches Lawler for first on the team in that department. And so after briefly leading in the second period, Sachem find themselves trailing yet again. Ilg in on the intercept. Drag, shoots. And puck slowed up on its way to Huber, who ushers it into the near corner. Ty Shimkus. Portanova steps up at the blue line, unable to hold in. Ilg. Puck right back down into the Friar end. Feely briefly took it away. Leno trying to go right back out. Feely and Leno together. And Feely doing a great job on the forecheck. Battling Leno. Comes away with the puck. What a play. Sean Feely. Feely to the forehand. Save made by Huber. Ilg back with it. Ilg trying to feed the front of the net. Blocked by Leno. And now Lawler gets to the loose puck. Sends down ice to Krush. Krush fires her right back in. Looked like Shimkus nearly played it. He did not. And icing is called on Sachem with 10:23 left in the third period. Friars regaining the lead on an unassisted goal scored by Alec Giacoppi. They have the last 2 goals in the game. The equalizing goal scored by Aspromonte. Giacoppi will take the faceoff and win it. Camastro, DiGiacomo, great hustle. And now potential numbers for Sachem. Wellman, Giacoppi getting back on defense for the Friars. Calber at the far point. He opened the scoring for Sachem at least. Puck loose, available for DiGiacomo. Could not get a touch on it, and Calber in a dangerous position out on the ice. Coughs it up to McCormick. McCormick, wrist shot, and a save made by Walsh. .10:06 remaining in this third period. Face off to the right of Walsh. Retigliano will take it against Alec Giacoppi. Good hustle from DiGiacomo. Took it away. In support is Retigliano. Backhand pass for Wellman. Just a little bit ahead of him. Wellman off the ricochet. DiGiacomo! Save made by Huber. And another chance save. Rebound. Going after the puck without a stick. Why not? Retigliano. Not sure what he was going to do with it. Friars clear the zone. Puck. And it's lonesome on the far side of the ice. Fired into the zone. Out to stop it, Walsh. Walsh. Palladino is the first on it. DiPietro checks him. McCormick takes over. Gavin McCormick up top for Welter. Welter. Wrist shot along the ice. Steered away by Walsh. Ilg delivers a check on McCormick. Takes away the puck. Ilg makes his way to the middle of the ice. And a good poke from Lawler. Took it away from Ilg as the defense were changing. Defense from the bench for Sachem. Able to make up as the Friars also went for a change. Poor Kane. Cross ice to Feely. Fell down. Feely diving up top to his feet. At the very least prevented a rush up ice there for the Friars. Sachem right back in. Looking for an equalizing goal. And getting at least a critical point. Portanova trying to backhand out. Held in by Pape at the far point. Aspromonte centers. Shot from Healy went wide. Healy has it go by him. Lawler to Healy. Save made Walsh. Rebound. Another save made by Walsh. Friars keep in. Lawler. Krush took it right back. Not out of the zone. Held in by Aspromonte. Portanova will try the near side. And it's Shimkus who takes over. Shimkus. Backhand pass. Healy. Pape back down low to Healy. Now Lawler. Lawler centers! Healy couldn't get a shot off. Portanova far corner. Sachem running around the zone. Chance out in front. Healy wouldn't go. Well, it's a goal. They say it's a goal. Liam Healy off a great offensive shift for the Friars. Extend their lead to 2. As they say, it got by Walsh. Tough to tell from our vantage point. But caps off a very impressive shift for the Friars. And And no, they take it off. No goal. It was a good shift for the Friars. They do not end up with the goal as the result. So take back what I said there and just stick with the initial thought of mine, which was it wouldn't go. It was no goal. Off the draw, McCormick. Right back in on to Walsh, who's keeping Sachem within one. Cole Calberer banking one to neutral ice. Camastro sends it right back in for St. Anne's. Taken away off the iron. And then off the stick of Camastro. DiGiacomo shot out of a cannon, chasing hard after Camastro. Creates a turnover to Retigliano. Retigliano coughs it up to Leno. Leno steps in over the line. Leno looks over his options, hits the brakes. And Retigliano on the back check took it off the stick of Robert Leno. Retigliano surviving another couple of sticks on his way out of the zone. Into neutral ice with speed. Retigliano, wrister off the glove of Huber into the corner to Wellman. Wellman to DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo to Retigliano. Portanova, wrist shot, glove save, rebound. Cleared out from in front. Back to Cruz. Kicked away by the right pad of Huber. Sachem now getting a couple of good looks. Out of the reach of McCormick. The puck, not enough on it to result in an icing. Sachem trying to take advantage of the change. Instead, they just give it away. Lawler a drive and a blocker save made by Walsh, and out of play it goes. With 5:57 remaining in the third period. Friars holding on to a one-goal lead. They thought they extended it until they didn't. Healy to take the face-off from Ilg in the offensive zone. And Healy is going to get tossed from the dot. Lawler steps in to take it. And Lawler wins it back. Aspromonte taken away by Ilg. Ilg through neutral ice into open space, and quickly taken away that space was Aspromonte. Ahead for Lawler, dumps in. Krush around for Portanova. Portanova out of the reach of Feely. Wrist shot through traffic in front. Save made. Staying with it was Walsh. Ensuing face-off to the far boards. Worked down low by St. Anne's. Ilg to Feely. Feely on the tape for Kane. Kane toward the middle of the ice. Taken away by Feely. But Shimkus emerges with the puck. Shimkus. Long shot by Lawler. Gloved by Walsh. So 8 of the 9 regulation losses for Sachem have been by 2 goals or less. Will this be the 10th as another stop at the right pad made by Walsh? Sachem needing another goal to avoid that fate. Retigliano goes down. DiGiacomo takes over. DiGiacomo wheeling into the zone. DiGiacomo around the net. Lost the handle of the puck. Retigliano jumps back on it. Long wrist shot save made by Huber. Rebound collected by Camastro. Knocked down out of midair by Retigliano. Welter to the loose puck. Welter to Giacoppi. And now McCormick speeding through neutral ice. Gavin McCormick sends in. DiPietro applying the check on McCormick. Cole Calberer, a little chip to DiPietro. DiGiacomo with Retigliano. Retigliano cuts wide. Retigliano, what a move! Retigliano shut down by Huber. Krusch as the Friars clear the zone yet again. Under 4 to play in the third. Friars 3, Sachem 2. Portanova. Retigliano deflecting ahead, hoping for Wellman. Now Retigliano. Far circle, shot fan on Wellman, backhands it along. Still in the zone, Portanova lost a handle. 2-on-1 for the Friars. Krusch is back, and the pass missed on its way toward Healy. Lawler applying the check on Portanova. Krusch chips around for Portanova. Now Shimkus, diving block by Wellman. Portanova, near corner. 3:10 to go in the third period. Friars unable to hold in the zone. And once again, look at the hustle of DiGiacomo. Wellman in the skates, didn't know where it was DiGiacomo that time. Now Portanova fires it around, waiting for it was Healy. Wellman backhands it, intercepted by Shimkus. Shimkus wrist shot, deflects and kicked away by Walsh. Krusch to the line, held in by Shimkus. Ty Shimkus goes down. Kane looking for the loose puck, no call there either. Ilg fires around. Aspromonte and Portanova together. Long shift for this defensive group for Sachem. Long shift for everyone out there on the ice for Sachem. And a good offensive sequence for the Friars. Aspromonte turned away. Wellman lifts the stick. His stick lifted back by Aspromonte, who threw one out in front all the way through and stopped by Walsh. Right back out in front, Aspromonte. And a good play by Portanova. And now Ilg racing out of the zone, joined by Kane. Kane trying to get to the loose puck. Shimkus had to go by him. And Shimkus tying up the stick of Kane. Still swept back out toward the front of the net. 1:50 to go, third period. Sachem trailing by 1 is St. Anthony. In behind, Feely had it poked from him. DiPietro to the loose puck. Checked by Aspromonte. Shimkus trying to clear. And the Friars do. Minute 30 to go, 90 seconds remaining in this third period. Kane mishandles, poked right back onto Walsh. Walsh keeps things moving to Kalber. Cole Kalber up the near boards, out of the zone, but Sachem need to go from defense to offense. Retigliano trying to do just that. Has the puck and circles back. Ryan Retigliano dodging a couple of stick checks, marches in, high wrist shot off the blocker and out of play, but an offensive zone face-off coming for Sachem, who have the extra attacker out. And a timeout is called.